Brought to you by stationhousecoffee.com and inspireddisorder.com/music.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Afterschool, another movie by director Antonio Campos, also on Netflix. This is one of his earlier films. This was directed or came out in 2008. Of course, I watched this movie because his newest film, The Devil All the Time, was just released on Netflix. Like I said in that review, my favorite movie of the year. So I wanted to go back and watch his earlier films. And I had seen his previous film to the most recent was Christine, I believe, which I wasn't a big fan of. But it was done in a style that was different from The Devil All the Time. So I wanted to see his earlier stuff. I wanted to just kind of get an idea of this writer-director, and kind of how he tells stories and how he directs, because I thought The Devil All the Time was just an amazing, well-told, well-directed piece of art. Painful, just like horrible, but amazing. So Afterschool is, I believe, his first film that he came out with. Very minimal, independent feel to it. I mean, minimal in every sense of the word, I would say. There's only a few key characters. It's set in a prep school, and there's a kid who's, he's in a film class. And it's just very quiet. There's not a whole lot going on. A lot of the camera shots are locked off. So every once in a while, there'll be a pan here and there, but very much locked off. Even a lot of the focus is locked off, where you'll be focused on the back of the head of the main character, and then somebody else will just throw a look at the character, but can be completely out of focus. You can still identify the character looking. And it really does kind of keep you focused on what it has. It adds a feel to this movie of being very empty and very very I don't know, just solo. You're very much feel very alone with the main character. But I like it. I like those kind of minimal, really slow burn. Even plays with aspect ratio a lot, where a lot of the scenes, you'll be in the standard widescreen format, but because you see a lot of parts of this movie is showing you like video projects that he's working on or stuff that he's looking on online, you'll get the smaller aspect ratio. Which he plays around with that a lot. But the main character is addicted to the internet. And this is the internet in 2008, right? Not as addictive as it is today, but still addictive. It opens with him watching porn, which actually, like every small thing in this movie that it decides to show you ends up having a payoff later. So it's, even though there's not a lot going on, everything that he does show you in the film is something that has importance, or if somebody says something, it has importance to it, which I appreciate, even though it's like a lot of the times with independent films or minimal type films, it still lacks kind of any meat on the bone, where the fact that every small thing that kind of happens plays a part, add some. I mean, even if it's just the mildest strand of meat on that bone, it works. And I don't know. I really liked it. Completely tonally different than The Devil All the Time. I mean, The Devil All the Time is like more of a traditional story movie. Well told, though. Well acted, well performed, well written. This one the same. It's just very tonally much more muted. But this kid witnesses these two twins, girls, in his class or in his school. They OD. They overdose on something and die at school. So a lot of this movie is kind of him dealing with witnessing that, and then him also they put him in charge of directing the memorial film, the memorial video for these two girls that died. And and you can kind of tell that he's like a film kind of nerd also. They show, like, there's a scene where he shows his teacher what he's done so far, like an early cut of his memorial film. And it, in my opinion, probably the best. Like, it's like a memorial film directed by a professional art house director, right? What it showed, it was really more of a film, more of a cautionary tale of the tragedy and the harm that can happen from drug overdoses, versus like a piece, like a standard. That's even when he finishes showing his teacher the film that he made. His teacher's like, "What is this? Like, this is horrible. I'm so disappointed. Where's the music? Where's all the people saying all the nice things and stuff?" Whereas his memorial video was very like grounded and real. Like, it showed like cuts, like in the interview where he's like interviewing the parents. It shows like a cut that would be, they don't say anything. It's just the dad anger that he doesn't have his daughters anymore. Like, when it cuts in, it's him bashing the table, and then his mom is in frame staring out the window that's behind him, like just trying to collect themselves while doing this interview. And it's like, it's better than any interview because it's showing the parents feeling the loss of their two children and feeling the loss of their two children to a drug overdose. And then you come to find out later that you know who the person is that's dealing the drugs also. So that comes up. Like, and that comes up like you've seen it, but you don't realize that you've seen it because everything's just so like minimal and just like it's showing you stuff, but it's not like showing you stuff in a way where it's like you need to remember this for later because it's going to mean something. And it's just so crazy because it's like you see how the main character reacts to finding out, kind of realizing that this other dude is dealing the drugs. But then at the very end of this movie, what this movie does in so many ways, just the way it's made, and made as far as like the way it's filmed, how it's very specific perspectives on things. Like, you're seeing a scene from this perspective for this reason. There's a scene at the very end of the movie that really changes how you feel about the main character, where it can change a person, where just the perspective of this movie, once you're given a different perspective on something, literally a different angle to a scene you've seen multiple times in this movie, you get to see a different angle. And it's something that I thought was potential, like that there was some fuckery going on that you couldn't see from the original angle. So once you see it from the angle that shows the situation more clearly, you realize that there's a character that you've kind of been with and you relate to, and he's like the protagonist in the movie. And then you see this scene and you're like, oh no. It really changes your opinion on it, and it's all from perspective. To the fact where the very end scene of this, he's in the library, and he has this feeling that he's being videotaped, and that somebody is watching him, and that's I think him understanding that, especially in 2008, smartphones and things like that weren't as prevalent as they are now, but back then he had the idea, he understood that given a different perspective, his life would be completely different. And now that he knows that, he also knows that, anybody could be watching at any time. Anybody could have the right perspective on a situation and see his true self, see how evil he truly is. And I really liked it. I really liked Afterschool. I thought the end kind of tied it up nice to where it really made you reconsider a lot of the things in the movie. But definitely you could see the talent that Antonio Campos has. I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking to see, if you watch The Devil All the Time, which I highly recommend, then I'd recommend also to go back and watch Afterschool to kind of see his early work, all on Netflix. So check it out. Make sure you support our sponsors by going to stationhousecoffee.com and following Station House Coffee on Instagram for all of your small batch, single origin, premium coffee brewed in Vermont and shipped directly to you. Buy now, support the sponsors that support this show. Go to stationhousecoffee.com and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. Get 30 days free of Amazon Music Unlimited by going through my link, inspireddisorder.com/music. That's 60 million songs streamed to all your devices. Cancel anytime. Sign up now for Amazon Music Unlimited for 30 days, all for free. inspireddisorder.com/music. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!